What's up, y'all? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me yet. The core is on the way. Is that so? Is that so? Let me post this on Patreon so that everybody can be informed. Let's go! Boop. Publish now. All right, so I've informed everyone. Glad Jay in the house. All right, say what you got to say, Jay. Hope everybody can hear me. Big homie Becky in the house. Big homie Leah in the house. We got the fam here. Yeah, guys, I know that it was kind of back to back, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so sorry if it's an oversaturation, but what do you know? I missed you. Did you get... Hey, PM fan. What's up, buddy? I shouted you out in the last video that we taped. Did you get grief from Story about your Mastodon gaffe? Not really. She's very forgiving. She's very kind. She's very kind. What's going on, Jay? Finally, you made a fireside, but now you're at work. What in the world? Mr. Manson, what's up? Have you been to a fireside before? There is no such thing as too many firesides, Vin. Okay, that's cool. At least you think that, Leah, but you've been with us since the beginning, so you would think that. Matthew Winter in the house. Check your messages, by the way. Okay, let me check my messages. I'm looking for Jay. Tina, Jay. Where's Jay? Gosh, man, I am getting flooded. I'm about to create a whole other one. Here's Jay. Hey! That is a pretty cool thingamajig. Can I show it? Can I show the group, Jay, or nah? I'm not super busy for once. Very good. That's pretty badass, Jay. It'll be 1 year in March. Oh, man. That's true. That's so crazy. We might be at 100K by the time we celebrate our one year anniversary. That would be pretty crazy. What's your opinion on having two Pope Bricktown? What's up, buddy? On having two popes so we can make them stick fight with those fancy Pope sticks. I don't know how much of history you know, but we actually did have two popes at one point. And they did kind of fight. So, there's that. Lamb Sauce. What's good, Lamb Sauce? You call us by doing the Skype thing. Look for us, Vin and Sorry. Just go to Skype and look for us at Vin and Sorry. Ian Aspie, what's up, buddy? Appreciated your comment on the little debate thingamajiggy. That was fun. Appreciate you. Oh, that's a perfect screenshot there, Mr. Bricktown Media. I just saw that. Thank you very much, sir. Right, they didn't... Jan, what's up, Jan? They didn't do any stick fighting. Yeah, I know, I saw it. What's up, Chris Culp? Chris Culp in the house? Chris Culp in the house? Hold on. I'm trying to edit a video while I'm on this video. Give me 1 second, y'all. That. Where's the picture? There it is. Select, save. All right, cool. Divorce rates need to decrease for a better future. I agree with you, Liver. Having endured one myself, it is absolute carnage and absolute pain and suffering. And I think that the factors that go into why people get divorced are variegated. We just have to treat each other better. So my mom went through a divorce with my dad, and she should have probably divorced my stepdad because it was not very good for her mental health. But I think everybody can probably agree that it is the worst outcome of a marriage for sure. So I agree with you for sure. Yes, Matthew Maeda, you came while it was still on. Are you guys? Can you guys hear me? Sori's coming up. She's fixing up the lasagna and such. No, Ben. Hold on. My buddy Jay sent me a pretty cool pic, and I wanted to make sure that it was cool for you guys to see it. So the big homie Jay, JD, I gotta see if this is gonna show, but there it is. That's his new mask thingamajiggy. Marriage rates need also to decrease, which will decrease divorce rates. Well, I guess if that makes sense. I want to discuss why you haven't done any more Parkway or Thy Art is Murder. That's a good question. It's a very good question. What we've tried to do is really look at the website and see which votes are getting what, and Parkway is nowhere near as popular as the other folks getting votes. What's wrong with me? I also believe parents who kick their children out of the house at 18 is bollocks. Yeah, I don't know. I think my daughter could probably realistically survive at 16 by herself. I think Zoe could survive at 16 by herself. Johan, 21, 22. Dorian, 18 seems like a good, but you just have to, every kid's different, but I'm pretty certain we just actually took Zoe out and got her a bank account. We opened up a bank account. She's got her own card and all that jazz yesterday. My daughter absolutely could make it work at 16, but the other two, forget it. It would never happen. What's up, Winter? How do you feel about Jermaine's negative response to your debate? Yes, Zonia, we are going to beat them up, but we're going to beat them up for their own sake and for the sake of love. We're going to give them some tough love in a second. How do I feel about Jermaine? Well, I don't really have any feelings about it. he kind of came into there's a whole context about that happened prior to the debate. And just for full disclosure, I told him explicitly that I would get a copy and that he would get a copy and that I would give him a copy of the debate before I released my copy. So I don't know what else to say. So I don't know what else he wanted me to tell him. As far as his negative, well, I mean, I think if you haven't, doing a debate is very difficult. I think, especially doing it. Whoa, Sonia, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Doing a debate is very difficult, especially if you're not used to being able to present your ideas in a structured way. So like somebody calls up on the show and there's a bunch of and back and forth and people talking over each other. I mean, I do it. I'm guilty of it, obviously. And then because it's so structured, it's much harder to throw dust in the air and get away from certain problems. And so I think, obviously if you look back at the debate and, and he's got the self-awareness to say, I probably should have paid attention more. I was distracted by the cat. For me, I wanted to hear every word he was saying. First of all, because I just wanted to honor and respect him as my opponent. But secondly, because, if I believe that I'm right, then there's going to be some logical flaws in what he's saying. And then the third reason I listen so intently is because just because you come into the debate thinking you're right, which everybody does, otherwise you wouldn't be debating, there might be a point or an angle that you didn't think of that your opponent might present to you that will, if not make you completely change your idea, which is very rare, at least make you modify your thinking. And so you got to be really, really careful when you're listening because you might miss those. And that's one of the advantages of having the debate being so structured is that it gives the opponent time for you to talk and you just have to shut up for them to talk and you have to shut up and listen. So I was very attentive of what he was trying to say. And it didn't work vice versa. And I think that probably hurt him. Thank you, Jan. So, of course, when something like that gets published and you don't feel that you did very well, then, he's part of a group of people where there's a lot of like mendacity and ego and things like that. And so if you don't do well, then there has to be some things to compensate. So, I mean, I wasn't personally offended by it. But you guys know me well enough now. It takes a lot to personally offend me. I was just glad that he was, and that's between he and I. But, I don't have any problems with him. And I think that he, kudos to him for doing it. So that's my perspective on the debate. Hey, Gersock in the house. Yeah, BM. I was debating whether or not to make opening and closings 15 minutes. But I felt like if I made the opening and closing 15 minutes, that the advantage would go to me. Because as you could see, he didn't even complete all of his cross-ex or his opening or his closing statements all the way. And so I felt like if I made it longer, that the advantage would unfairly go to me. So that's why I kept it as opening and as short as I did. Will you debate more often? Vin, when are you debating me on my idea to give every citizen a free throwing axe? You're kind of like Zonia. Zonia and I disagree on things, but we don't like debate them necessarily because we both agree on this is X or Y outcome. She'll agree with me, and then I'll say, that's a nightmare, and she'll say, yeah, but I'm an engineer, so, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't really, but, yeah, sure. everybody gets a free throwing axe. I guess the Republicans would say, how are you going to finance that? Any predictions on Bears Eagles? That is a very difficult. I just think Nick Foles in the playoffs is magical, and I think that the problem that you have as a defense is you don't have a lot of body of work to work with because the majority of the season it was Carson. So your season, all that stuff are just very, very difficult. I think the Patriots had a very difficult time, obviously, with figuring him out, and so I'd give the edge to the Eagles because of Nick Foles. What if I want a battle axe instead of a throwing axe? What's up, Holly Hawks? Holly, I saw a tweet from you at like 4 in the morning. I looked at it and I was going to respond to it. And then Sori said something to me. And then I was listening to something on YouTube and I completely forgot. And I have no freaking clue what I was going to say to you. So I don't know. I love you, sis. I don't know what that means. Have I watched much rugby? No. I love the structured debate. It's a great format. Part of me would love to debate you for fun, but I think debate-wise, you would snap me in half. Da-da-da-da. I don't know what snap... Like, I don't really... Yeah, I don't snap in half or whatever. I mean, I've seen some pretty one-sided excursions debate-wise, but I don't think it was that one-sided. And, you know, Ian, that conversation we had, and he had head and arms and legs just like Jesus. You're a pretty snazzy dude yourself. I give the edge to the Eagles only because of the Nick Foles. If it was Carson Wentz, I'd give it to the Bears. Any advice on a 23-year-old marrying a 31-year-old Japanese woman like myself? Okay, are you the 23-year-old or are you the 31-year-old? Because that changes. Predictions on when the government will reopen. Shoot, there is a major lag, huh? No, BM fan, I didn't think you were being rude. I mean, I obviously don't believe I mean, I obviously don't agree with you, but I don't think it's rude. It's not rude to disagree with someone. That's not rude. Someday, if I ever get my voice back properly, I'd like to engage it, but I don't think I'd be able to do it in front of an audience. Too much anxiety. Yeah, public speaking is a terrible thing. I can't stand it. I can't stand public speaking. I actually failed one of my classes senior year because we had to give a 5-minute speech, and I just didn't show up for the rest of the semester. Can we have a debate about ranch? No. Because God has already determined that ranch is the nectar of the Antichrist. What's worse, shout your abortion or NAMBLA? Ugh. I'm not going to touch that one. Because I honestly don't know which one is worse. I'll have to sleep on that, Yan. I'm the 23-year-old man. Okay. Well, hold on for a second, guys. This lag thing is killing me. I just did some sort of update on my thingamajig, and I knew I should have done it, but I did it anyway. So I'm going to kill this thing and restart it. Hopefully we can... whatever. Give me a second. So I'm gonna open up another one.